Hey, welcome back, guys. Hope everybody is staying healthy and safe. It's been about a month so far since I've been in quarantine and really haven't been super inspired to create any videos or makeup looks. I really do miss actually doing makeup on clients. Kind of had an idea pop into my head yesterday. A friend of mine got me this book and made me kind of think what inspires me as a makeup artist or any artist for that matter. I feel like a lot of us gravitate towards color. This guy is what kind of started this thought in my mind. And I just want to kind of challenge myself a little bit. Maybe you guys will enjoy this series that I'm going to put together. It's basically based off this book by Kassia St.Clair. The back says The Unforgettable Unknown History of Colors and the Vivid Stories Behind Them. So I think this is interesting. I think, colors everywhere. We're surrounded by it with nature, and that's what really inspires me. I figured I'd kind of try to challenge myself, make some fun videos. There's a few shades that I've picked. Acid yellow being one of them. So I think today I'll probably go ahead and play around with something kind of simple. It doesn't have to necessarily be too overwhelming or too overpowering. It could be just little bits added here and there. But we'll see how this kind of unfolds. This is something new, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. I went through some products that I've had, and this was an eyeshadow from Makeup Forever. It's a really, really vivid yellow. So I'm going to incorporate that. I'm going to go in first with a little bit of a concealer, jamming out to some 60s music. Always kind of reminds me of my mom. Just using a concealer kind of as a base to keep my shadows in place. You can always use whatever your foundation is. How has everybody been feeling with their kind of new normal? I'm going to do a little bit underneath, kind of working that into the lower lash line a bit. Got a few eyeshadows, kind of more neutrals. Soft brown from MAC is kind of a classic, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I find it was kind of, when I worked for them, kind of my go-to. I'm actually just going to start on this lower portion and then just kind of feather it up. So what has everybody been doing to keep sane besides eating and drinking a lot? In our family, we've been doing lots of puzzles, which has been kind of fun. So we're just kind of creating a base here. And whenever I kind of start videos, I kind of have an idea in mind, but I never really fully know exactly where it's going to go. I do want just like a pop of this kind of acid yellow tone. I mean, I definitely feel like yellow is a really happy color to me, especially right now. There's all these wildflowers starting to bloom. This is a liquid paint from Makeup Forever, and it's definitely more on the bronze side. So it's kind of to just add like a little bit more of a texture involved with this look. I kind of want to have a little bit of a soft kind of shimmeriness going on. So I'm just taking a little bit on the brush, and I'm going to kind of concentrate that kind of on the lid here, and kind of almost just like pushing it and patting it just right on the lid. And I'm not really doing a necessary structured shape here. I'm just kind of following the natural shape of my eyes. And then I always keep a towel next to me just to kind of wipe out my brushes. Next, I'm going to take an eyeshadow that's a little bit more, has a little bit of a shimmer, but it's kind of a similar tone of what I just placed. This is just going to intensify that shadow that I just put on. It has a little bit of this kind of more golden fleck to it, but not super yellow. I'm going back into the soft brown, kind of intentionally bringing that brown right up to the brow. And just kind of using this as an all over eyeshadow. Just kind of blending all those edges together, and then again using this more as kind of my highlight at this point, because I don't really think I want much of a highlight, maybe just brightening up like the inner corners. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take a brown pencil. This one is from Kevyn Aucoin. I don't even think they make this, but I love the formula because it's a little more powdery. I'm just going to go ahead and sharpen it. I like to curl before I do much as far as eyeliner, because I feel like when you lift the lashes, you can see kind of the shape that you might want to create with your eyeliners. Do a little tight line. Just wiggle it right into the lashes. It's gonna, I feel like, really help when we go to do the yellow. And where I'm gonna place the yellow is going to be more underneath. And I'm just kind of doing this just kind of on this outer corner. Little smudge brush. I'm going to take my brown pencil and just do a little bit right into the lash line. Just like a tiny, and I'm not going into the waterline here, I'm just going below. And then I'm going to take the soft brown shade on the little tip, and then I'm just going to kind of buff that out. Next, I'm going to go in and do a little bit of that yellow. This is going to actually help create an eyeliner. This is Makeup Forever, and it's called Aqua Seal. It basically transforms any sort of powder into an eyeliner or something a little bit more wet, so you can create a waterproof type eyeliner out of any sort of eyeshadow. So if you're somebody who maybe wants to experiment with some different eyeliner colors, but maybe you don't want to go out and buy a bunch of different shades, if you have some eyeshadows, something like this, you can really create a nice, more waterproof type of eyeliner. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of my powder with a small little brush and just getting my consistency right. And I'm almost just kind of like patting this into place. And then I'm going to take a little bit of another shadow from MAC. This one's called Nylon. I'm going to actually pick up a little bit of the yellow and mix it with Nylon so that the inner corner highlight is a little bit brighter. I'm actually using quite a bit of Makeup Forever today. I'm going to use their HD stick for the foundation. I've been a little bit dry. I've done a few peels lately, so I'm going to use the HD stick, which is a little bit more of a creamier consistency. I always like to take my foundation brush and pick that up, so because this can be a little bit more medium to full in a way, just through the areas where I know I'm a little bit more uneven. I mean, I definitely have quite a bit of melasma and hyperpigmentation. That's always going to be, but I'm just going in and buffing a little bit of this out, but mainly concentrating most of that just through the center. And then I'm going to really feel like bronze myself up and then give myself almost like a more berry cheek. To warm my complexion up, I'm going to just take this is just a darker concealer shade. I'm going to just take a little bit forehead, just a few dots, small little drag, and then I can always go in and add more if I want. I'm going to go in and just take a smaller brush and just kind of work that into the hairline. I do like to always bring a little bit down. Light pressure. I'm going to hit a little bit on my cheeks too. Go ahead and just take a little bit of concealer just to brighten up through the center of my face. I don't want to come too close to the yellow, but kind of like right up to it. Go in and do my brows. I actually don't want like a really full heavy brow here. I'm just kind of like where I kind of just have a few little sparse areas, and then I'm just going to feather it out with some brow gel just to kind of have them a little bit up and full. And I want quite a bit of mascara with this look. So something that's a little bit thicker. Okay, I'm going to go in and finish the complexion. I'm going to just take a little bit of a bronzer. This is just a little small sample of the Fenty bronzer. This is my blush. Kind of wanted something a little bit more rosy, so I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze a little bit out. The little brush that I used with my bronzer. And I'm actually placing this just a little higher. I might even connect a little bit into the eye. Now I'm going to just go in and take a little bit of my yellow shadow. And then I think for a lip, we're going to do something really simple, just kind of a nude. I'll take my foundation brush, and this is an oldie and a goodie. I love it. Kind of just a neutral. And because my eyes have a lot of kind of this kind of shimmeriness, we're going to keep the lip a little bit more matte. Take a little brush, just kind of blur that out. And then I actually really did like these. These came out a bit ago. It's from Revlon. It's called the HD Matte color, like one of those paint type lipsticks. But I feel like this does dry down and it kind of creates a little bit more of a stain, but I don't feel like it dries your lips out. And this color is nice. It's just a really nice nude. Now my eyesight is going, I think this is called Seduction. Just kind of a fun little inspiration where I could kind of create and pull from this. And it kind of got me feeling a little bit excited to jump back into creating some fun videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really mainly for me just to kind of play around and show you just something kind of fun. Let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys are staying healthy and safe. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to read them. So please subscribe, like, share this with people who may enjoy it. I know I can get quite chatty, but that's just me. Thanks for joining. We'll see you soon. I really appreciate the support. Thanks.